Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys had a great day today. It was another good morning in the market. A lot of value there, a lot of good money to be made. So it was another good day. It's been a really good couple of days. Even though the market has sold off kind of for the last 4 days, and we'll look at the market here in a minute. But I'm gonna do again. I'm gonna do two videos in one. My time is really limited through all of this. So the first part is gonna be the next segment in the own the change. So if you guys aren't doing that, you don't care about it, just skip to the recap, and I'm gonna have a link saying when the trade recaps are gonna start in the description. So just take a look out for that. So what I've got here, don't go chasing waterfalls. And that is, I don't even need to explain that any further. You know what happens when we start chasing. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to us is that we chase and it works out really well. Because after that, we're going to continue to chase and expect that to happen every time. And we all know good things don't come from that. So don't go chasing waterfalls. Then stick to what we're teaching, stick to what you're learning, and we're gonna build this up to where you're consistent, and then we continue to grow from there, and we build up from there. I've shown you guys what's possible if you stick to the process. All right, so this is the next segment in the Own the Change. This is our 30-day refocus challenge. We're about halfway through the month, and all of these things that we're doing, we're focusing on them these 30 days, but it's something that you're going to need to continue throughout your career, especially in the beginning, because it's going to be so easy for us to lose focus. Really easy. So just make sure that you continue doing these things, and until you have addressed all of your issues. But you're going to continue to write your why statement every day. I write mine down every morning before I start making notes on the market, and it makes a big difference in your focus for the day. And it's going to keep you grounded, keep you centered, and keep your mind straight. So that's the first thing we should have. We talked about our why statement. You should have that in place. You should have your complete list of challenges. You've had plenty of time to go through and think about all of the things that are causing you issues, that are challenges that's preventing you from achieving your goals. And you should have had action steps as to how you're going to address those goals. And you needed to identify team members, put together a team of people that can help you get there. And all of these members are going to have different expertise. You want to have one person that can, be a motivator. Somebody that can motivate you, pick you up when you're down. Obviously somebody to help you in the market, to help keep you grounded, keep you centered. Whatever the case is, you want to have a team. And then you wanted to assign a team member to help you with your specific challenges. And that's the progression that you should be in right now. So we should be addressing all of the issues that we are having. And we're doing it one at a time. One challenge at a time. We don't need to do 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you think about it, a lot of these challenges can be grouped together. And if you work on one thing, it's going to fix 2 or 3 more. So that's why, I wanted you to take your time, go through it, and really identify the things that are that you feel are holding you back and that are weaknesses and things that we can address, one at a time. All right. So today, now, I know if you've been through my classes, I've talked about journaling until I'm blue in the face. And journaling is one of the concepts that all true professionals have. They journal, they write down their thoughts, they write down the challenges and things and how they overcame them. So we're going to talk about having a trading journal, and as part of that trading journal, you want to write down your journey through dealing with your challenges. And whatever challenges you're working on that week, just add that to your trading journal. Okay, and the reason why your trading journal is even more important, because like I said, we're going to start pivoting into the trading. And the first thing we're going to talk about is what I talk about and I preach every day: journaling and reflecting. And if this is something that you don't like to do, that you're not willing to do, you probably aren't going to be successful trading, because journaling is one of the key elements to your growth. Because when you come into the world of trading, you're trading alongside of some of the best and the brightest minds in the world, and they have many years of experience over you. The number one tool that can help legitimately speed up the learning curve and keep you on track and bridge that learning gap that you have is the implementation and use of a trading journal. Whether you journal by hand or on the computer or by audio recording or through video, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just need to do it. And reflecting and journaling, like I said before, these are the only two ways that you're going to get better. It's no two ways about it. One of the reasons prospective traders fail is due to lack of experience and screen time. What leads to this failure are new traders trying to skip important elements to speed up that learning curve. You're trying to jump from losing money to being 100% consistently profitable overnight, and it doesn't work that way. So the best way to shorten that curve is to keep records using a trading journal. Keeping a journal is hard, but losing all of your money and accepting failure is probably a lot worse. So you have to make a decision. Are you willing to do everything you need to do in order to be successful? And a trading journal is just that. And I've been preaching this, I know, for the last 6-7 years. All right, so what we're working on in terms of our consistency. Okay, the first thing is the journal. Now, then we're going to start looking at making sure that we have a scan process that we can repeat every day. That process, we don't change it up. If you guys see me every morning, I'm doing the same thing every morning. And there are people that type odd stocks in, it's like, what about this stock? What about that stock? You don't see me addressing those until after I've done and built my watch list, because I have a process that I'm consistent with every day. The parameters are set, they're consistent. My vetting process, consistent. My risk management, consistent. My trade planning, consistent. You see the same thing every day, win, lose, or draw. It doesn't matter. It's going to be the same. And then when I'm reflecting, when I'm doing the video, that's my mode of reflection. I'm describing the trade. I'm talking about the feelings I had. I evaluate the trade, analyze it, I give you my conclusions, and I talk about what I'm going to do to either improve or do the same thing the next time. Because if we're doing something right, we need to make a note of that so that we could come back and do the same things over and over and over again. So what journaling will do, it'll help find the holes in our trading, the reasons why we are losing every day. And I'm going to tell you, you can go and follow whoever you want to that says they've got an 80, 90% win rate, and that's fine. They may have that. But if you don't take time to learn and comprehend and understand what's going on and how to implement that strategy consistently every day, you're not going to see 80, 90% win rate. A strategy is only good as a person that's trading it. If the person that's trading it is trading like garbage that day, that's what you're going to get out of the strategy. So you got to think about it that way. And what journaling does, if we're trading a strategy and we don't seem to be successful in it, we're going to be able to find the holes in our trading. We're going to be able to identify the areas that we need to adjust or improve on, and the areas that we need to focus. For instance, I get a lot of charts from people trading the opening range breakout or breakdown and 5-minute opening range, and they're saying, man, I've got all these losers, this strategy is not working. And we go through each one of those and identify why you should never have taken the trade to start with. That just because a stock every stock's going to set an opening range. Every stock's going to print the first 5-minute candle. Now, just because it breaks above it or below it does not mean that it's a setup. There are other parameters that have to be met. We talk about that in the class, and I try to talk about that every day. You have to make sure that there's enough room to take profit. If you jump in a trade and let's say the pre-market high is 10 or 15 cents away, and that's as high as that stock goes, you can't blame the strategy. You should have never got in. The resistance was too close, so it couldn't go anywhere. Same thing if you're shorting it. You have to make sure that there's room. And I went through the same process. But as I was journaling, I realized, hey, the pre-market level keeps stopping this. And so I knew going into next month, I needed to address that. I came up with the action plan. I knew what I needed to focus on, what I needed to adjust, and I fixed that issue. So journaling is going to be key to your growth. And one benefit of using a trading journal, and which I feel is the most important, it's going to build confidence in your trading system. If you see every day that on your watch list and you see several stocks that made really good moves, and it just so happens that you have been looking at the wrong stock, or the one that you got in didn't really make the move, there's no way of knowing ahead of time. No way, unless you get in a stock that has support there or resistance that will not allow the trade to work. But if you do this and you go through and you're proving to yourself that, hey, it's just a matter of a couple of tweaks and I'm going to be on this, you're able to execute your trades without fear or apprehension. Once you gain that confidence, you're going to have that, you're going to be able to execute flawlessly. Just like you were able to execute in the exercise, where you didn't have to think about anything. All you did was, you didn't care whether there was resistance or support or anywhere. It was just, okay, I just need to execute this plan. And now, when you're building your trade plan, all you got to think about is executing that trade plan. That's it. You have confidence in your ability to execute. And then if your planning is right, you're going to have confidence in that you're going to make money over time. Over a series of trades, you're going to make money. So in taking notes, meticulous notes, and recording the conditions surrounding your trades, you're going to start to see improvement if you address the issues that you point out. If you don't address them, then you'll never get better. So you've got to address the issues that you find. And some important things to note are your emotions as you enter the trade, how you felt during the trade, the exit. Did something happen in the market to spike it that threw it off? You want to note that, because if that happened, there's nothing you can do about it. So you can't worry about that then. Why you decided to exit when you did, if you did it early. And we look at the trade today, you're going to see just what I did. Okay. And then you can determine the profitable habits and then throw away the ones that aren't profitable. All right. And so everybody should have this. I think everybody that's asked for it, that's gone through the roadmap to success, I've sent this document out. And this is a way that you can write stuff down during the day. If you just took a trade and you want to write down what your feelings were, things that you might forget before you actually finish it up at the end of the day, you can just jot this thing down. And then you could transfer it into your big file or whatever. So you guys know, I really don't do affiliates. I don't really seek to get involved with other things. But one of the things that I've done, a couple years ago, one of the members was sharing their trade log that they came up with. I don't think that link works anymore. But there are two guys that are traders just like us that just started out, that they came up with this chart log, this trading journal system. And it's really, really good. And it's a really good way for you to be able to go back and analyze your trades and really critique your entries and your exits. It may even look better than the charts. If you have Thinkorswim, there's no way you're going to be able to look at pinpoint accurate entries and exits. You just have these flags. It's really difficult. So chart log, this is a complete system. And on the website this weekend, I'm going to have the link up to take you to chart log. And also I'm going to have it in the description section of this video. So you guys, if you want to go check it out, go check it out. I think they give you a free trial. But, I like this better than I like TraderView. And, TraderView is what I used for years. But I really like this one. This was made by traders sitting in the chat room just like us. I think they were in BBT. So sitting in the chat room just like us, learning how to trade, they came up with this incredible tool. So check it out. I'm going to drop the link in the description section here, and then I'll have it on the website this weekend. All right, so what I want you guys to do for the On the Chain Challenge, make sure, if you're not journaling now, make sure you start journaling. If you're journaling now, what I want you to do is add a section to where you are talking about the steps you're taking to address whatever challenge you're addressing this particular week or that day, as you knock them out, you want to add that in your journal. Because here's the thing, down the road, you're probably going to run into this again. And if you can go back and you have it bookmarked, you can go back to that journal and just read the things that you wrote when you were going through it this time. And it's going to help you when it comes up again. And it's going to make the process of adapting and making adjustments that much easier. So it's really, really important that you, if you don't do it now, you start doing it. And I know a lot of people don't like doing it. A lot of people they don't do one-on-one sessions because they don't have journals for us to go through or to talk about. They don't have anything set to talk about. And there's no way you can improve your trading if you don't have this stuff. If you don't document your trades, document the things, just the challenges you had. You just can't get around that. All right, so today we were looking at the SPY, and here's the 285.54 level that we've been watching for a couple of months now. But for weeks, I've been watching this level to see, are we going to hold above it? Are we going to come back through and lose it? What are we going to do? So every time that we fell through this, the 20 was right there holding it. But the last time we fell through it yesterday and it didn't hold the 20. We actually closed below the 20. Today we opened up. And I said yesterday, if we lose the 20, the next level is going to be down here around 271, 272, where the 50 was. And you can see it kind of angled down today. But if this thing had stayed flat, we would have come really close to touching the 50 before we bounced. And that was exactly the level that we were looking at. And then it came back above, and it didn't quite close. I don't think it quite closed back above 285.54. But we did close back above the 20. So it's going to be interesting to see where this SPY is going to end up tonight. Or in the morning, when we wake up, where the SPY is going to be in the morning. Because right now, as we speak, we've fallen back below. We're trading at about 284.60 or so. So where it end up tomorrow is going to be interesting. And as I've been saying every morning, I don't know where the market's going to go after the open. All we can do is sit back and wait and just trade what the market gives us. And whatever it gives us, we take it. So we had a pretty decent watch list this morning. And I chose MRNA. And I thought this one had really good opportunity to give us a big move. BA, I felt we had the same ability. I really thought we had a good chance because this stock we didn't have any support or anything on this all the way back to 56. So all we had were the daily levels, like over here, the low of the day before, around 60.20. That would have come into play. But look how far away we were. We just didn't have any daily levels until we got to around 56.38. So I thought this was going to give us a huge move. And I got in. I did not like the price action. I did not. Now look at this candle. When this candle ripped back up, I was really close to killing this. Now, I got in about 15 cents too late. 15 cents was my max pain on this. So if this had dipped a little bit more faster, I never would have been in this trade. But I was able to get in right at my max limit. So it was only 15 cents that I slipped on this. I wanted to get in at 63. And so I got in. We had a really nice sell. And then this candle opened and started ripping up. And I'm like, So it came really close to stopping me out. And I was really close to taking it out. I didn't like the price action. So I said, well, if it doesn't stop me out and it comes back down, we ought to get a decent move. And so I was looking for 62. And it came down and it stopped right here. I think it had a low of 62, 15, 16, 17, something like that. Then this candle opened and it started to rip just like this one. And I was like, nah, I'm done with this. So I just killed the trade and just took the little bit of profit that it gave me. And you can see this candle went all the way back up. This would have stopped me out. If I hadn't have taken profit, it would have stopped me out. It was just no way. And even if I'd taken half here, still would have stopped out at half. So I think I did the right thing by going ahead and killing the whole trade here. Now, even though it did come down and work, and I said this after I got out. I said this thing can still reject and come back and make the move, but I don't like the price action. It's not something, the price action that I like to trade, that I'm comfortable in. These huge swings back and forth, it's just not the ideal situation for me during a day trade. Now, if this was an all-day hold, I wouldn't even be looking at this. I'd be looking at a 1 hour chart, and I wouldn't see any of this. But this was, the way it just started. So I just took the base hit and walked away. And then I was looking for the continuation trade under this level. So I walked away from this, and once we started coming back, we hit this again, we bounced, we made a lower high, rejected off the 9 again. And so I was looking for a confirmation to take out this low. And what that meant was I wanted a candle to close below this, and then the next candle make a new low and confirm we lost this and me get in. We had this huge wash candle. No way I could get in on this. And it reversed, ripped all the way back up. So as we started coming back down, I'm like, I like this short again. And, I'll take another base hit on this if that's all it gives me. So once we broke the low, I said I wasn't going to do what I did over here. I actually broke my rule and not waited for it to confirm, because I thought this might happen again. And I said, if this happens, we get one big red candle all the way down, then I could still take profit, get my base hit, and go home. That was dumb. Okay, and I didn't realize it until I did the reflection. And this is one of the easiest traps you can run into. I don't care how many years of experience you have. You can be all on top of this. You stuck to your rules, and it cost you a trade. So you trading the same stock the same day. Automatically, you're going to expect it to not trade the way it typically would, and you can get away with this. And it causes you to break your rules, and you're not even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking about it, and got in, and you see what happened. Just didn't work. So that was what happened today. But the thing is, the reason why I said today was a really good day Look at BA. So many people in the room caught this. This was on our watch list. And I should have been watching this because BA, and you know how big moves these things can make. BA, I knew, had room all the way down to 86. There's no support until you hit 86. And all I was looking for was a nice hit on mRNA. I was going to wait for the secondary trade on BA, looking for the next leg down. That didn't set up. It traded through all of this. But everybody that traded the opening range nailed this. And they did a really good job. Even the ones that got in really quick and ended up getting stopped out, their stop was really tight, they were able to jump back in and remount this and make some money on it. So really, really good job to you guys that took it. And there were other stocks that gave, really good moves as well. Aftermarket, this is the stock we were looking at, but I had to leave. I couldn't sit in front of my computer, and I waited and waited and waited, and I was trying to wait, but 4:30 came, and this thing was just looking ridiculous. The conference call started, but I had to go. I had to take care of something, and ended up having to trade this on my phone. But this is the move that we look for. It reported earnings. You wait until that volatility settles in. Sometimes you have to wait until the conference call. And this one had kind of a delayed action on the conference call, but it did finally make a move. But because I was on my phone, I kind of messed this up. I was trying to set the next profit target, but it actually just sent a limit order for wherever the stock was trading at the time, and it ended up killing the trade. So I was trying to set it to where my next target was going to be 56.50, this level here, and the final target was going to be that 57.39. When we had this mapped out and I had everything ready for it, but it just didn't trigger like we wanted it to. This was well after 4:30 before this thing even started to move and give us the move. I honestly thought, and I think I mentioned this, that the move happened before the close, and that the earnings move was kind of baked into this. And that's kind of what I thought, and that's kind of why I bailed on it around 4:30 and just got up and went to start doing my other stuff. But this is what's happened a lot this week. Yesterday I was sitting there waiting for the big move. I went to lunch and it happened right when I went to lunch. So I waited today. I didn't go at 11. I waited to 12. Nothing happened. But that's just the way the market is. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't predict when these things are going to move. But you have to stay engaged and be ready. So that was the end of that. So that's how we ended the day. This honestly should have been at least $400 to $500 trade. It should have been once it was all said and done, but only got half of that. I don't advocate trying to trade like that on the phone, because trying to set the orders and then I can't really verify that it's right, and it goes through and fails immediately. Just kind of took me out of the money, but it is what it is. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up. Remember, journaling is key. I know it's labor intensive. It may not be what you are looking to do trading, but you got to do it. There's just no way around it. All right, so Have a great night, a great evening, and I will catch you guys in the morning.